Hi, this is Dave from VideoEffectsUniverse.com, and today is a basic tutorial in Reactor in 3D Studio Max. Now, for those that don't know what Reactor is, it's quite a few things, but the main is basically where objects interact with other objects, and like I say, rather than keyframing every single frame like an object interacting with something else, Reactor does it all for you. So for instance, in this scene, if I do a quick render, we have a bullet and we have some tarmac. And as you can see, we've got the shadow here because the bullet is not on the ground. Now obviously if you wanted to animate this bullet falling, you would need to keyframe the whole thing, and that can be quite time consuming and a very painful, slow process. Okay, so obviously to keyframe each time it hits and bounces and all the rest of it, we don't really want to be doing that. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is animate it for us using Reactor. So basically 3D Max can detect an object and how another object interacts with it. So rather than doing this and just sort of going through the ground like it's doing now, Reactor will actually bounce it off of the ground. Okay, so what we have up here, I have my Reactor set up here. Now first things first, what I want to do is go to my utilities, and then I'm going to try and find my Reactor, and here it is. And I'm going to do my preview and animation, and my end frame I'm going to do as 300. There is a reason for this, and I will tell you later on, but my end frame here is 300. Okay, that's that. Alright, I'm going to lift this up a bit. Now what we want to do is basically assign both of these objects, the plane and the bullet casing, as Reactor objects. Okay, so what we want to do is, if I can find it, is select rigid body collection. Okay, now as you can see, I've just added a gizmo in here, and this is the rigid body collection, and it's automatically selected the bullet OBJ form 680. Well, that's actually the name of the bullet. Okay, so that's one, and I'm going to add, where is it? I'm going to add the plane as well. So now we have two objects added to the rigid body collection properties. Okay, now what we want to do is cause them to react with each other. Okay, so what I'm going to do up here is click on this button here, which is basically the Reactor Properties. Okay, and I'm going to select, here we go, I'll select the plane. Okay, and I'm going to set that as a concave mesh. Alright, now I'm going to select on the bullet, and oh no, there we go, there's the bullet, and I'm going to set that as mesh convex hull. Alright, the mass I'm going to set at 65.0, and I'm going to set the friction to 2.0. I'm going to set this at 2.0 as well. 2.0. Okay, and that does look fine. Okay, now what we're going to do is basically create the animation. Now we click on this button here to preview it. Okay, and what we have here is a 3D representation. Okay, we can move this all around. It's perfectly fine. We can move it about and get whatever view we want. Okay, and you might not be able to see it, but down here it says press P to play. Now what this is going to do is simulate gravity and basically the two objects interacting. Now let's see what we come back with when I press P. Press P again. Now there you go. Basically they both interacted, and they caused quite a lot of keyframes if you was going to do that manually. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this down and close, and I'm going to change the bullet, and I'm going to change the rotation and basically give it a different angle to hit with. Okay, I'm going to bring it a little bit closer to the ground. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go up to this, and I'm going to press P to play. As you can see, it didn't have very much of a bounce or anything there because it was close to the ground. Okay, the height from your objects does cause quite a bit of a difference in how the objects react with each other. So I'm going to put this back down to 2 again. And I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to change the rotation again. And now let's do another quick little test. Let's see what we come back with now. There we go. It falls, as you can see, it's fallen over the side. So let's say keep on playing around with it, and like change the height and all the rest of it, and see what it looks like when, like I say, it's pretty. Sooner or later, I mean, you'll get the perfect shot, and it will look good. There you go. As you can see, it's rolling and it falls over the side. You know, so obviously, depending on the size of your plane, will depend on like how far it rolls. Now, obviously, because the plane ends, the bullet rolls over the side and just falls, because this completely simulates gravity and everything. But anyway, as you've now simulated it, and say we're happy with that, now what do we do with it now? Because basically, there's no keyframes in here at all. There's nothing there. So what you want to do with that is click on this button here, which is to create animation. And are you sure you want to continue an animation? This action cannot be undone. Click OK. And look at that. You've now got a whole set of keyframes. Now remember when I changed the utility from Reactor from 100 to 300? This is why. Because this is set at standard at 100 frames. Now when you add this the animation to max, and you actually have all these keyframes, it will stop at 100. Now if I scroll through here, you can see that there you go, it's bouncing. Hold on, let me just move my camera over here a bit more. Now what happens is, when it gets to 100, it will stop. Even though there's more animation happening, you will need to rescale up your... There we go. And as you can see, all the keyframes continue onwards, and it rolls and it falls off. And there you go, complete gravity there. So that's basically how two objects can interact with each other using the basic setup with Reactor. Mess around, see what you can come back with, change you know, the friction, the mass, and basically play around with all these settings until you get what you're looking for. And basically that is really it. Okay, so my name's Dave from VideoFXUniverse.com, and please visit the site, join the forum, and I will speak to you soon.